8. Powerful ancient temples. On the islands of Gozo and Malta, a well-preserved temple complex known as the Gigantea Temples is said to be one of the most important and well-preserved sites in the world. Older than the Stonehenge and even the Egyptian pyramids. It wasn't until recently it was proven to be younger than the Turkish site of Göbekli Tepe. Its name in Maltese means giant, which makes sense because there are some stones that weigh over 50 tons. Animal bones discovered inside the temple indicate strange rituals were once conducted here. Fieldwork done in Malta by archaeologists show that buried deep within the earth were traces of ancient DNA from animal skulls and bones. In its heyday, the area probably numbered several thousand people who visited the elaborate sacred sites, but after 1,500 years, residents mysteriously vanished. Drilling into the earth core, archaeologists studied sediment using carbon dating to understand how the area could sustain so many people for so long, only to later be abandoned. Researchers found that in centuries past, soil erosion and climate conditions worsened, affecting not only the food and harvest, but the livestock that fed the people. Scientists also found that the number of trees diminished and the bones of the humans living at the time were wrapped with evidence of dietary deficiencies. After analyzing tree rings in the area, researchers also found that the region suffered a catastrophic climate change around 2350 BC, which may have been caused by a volcanic eruption. Even though the people of the area struggled to survive, the temple complex at Gigantea remains as a testament to the importance of the area and the lasting legacy of these ancient people. 7. Lascaux Cave Paintings. A complex of caves in southwestern France, Lascaux is estimated to be about 20,000 years old. Lascaux was first discovered in 1940, immediately being given statutory historic monument protection that same year. It's just one of several decorated caves in the valley. The hauntingly beautiful cave paintings were in peril of being lost to history. The paintings depict large animals that are once native to the region cover the walls of the cave. The Paleolithic cave paintings are renowned for their exceptional quality, size, and sophistication. Over 200 archaeologists, anthropologists, and other scientists gathered in Paris to discuss the plight of the treasures in the Lascaux caves in order to find a solution to preserve them. But the paintings weren't the only thing to be preserved within the cave. Nearly 2,000 figures that can be grouped into three main categories, including animals, human figures, and abstract signs. Over 360 of the paintings are horses, with 90 stags and a number of drawings that represent cattle, felines, and other animals. One enormous bull that measures 17 feet long is considered the largest animal ever discovered in cave art so far. Various sections have been identified in the cave, including the Great Hall of Bulls, the Shaft of the Dead Man, and the Chamber of Felines, to name a few. Sadly, since the year 2000, the Lascaux caves have been threatened by a fungus blamed on the air conditioning system combined with high-powered lights in the presence of too many visitors, disturbing the site. As black mold started to grow, authorities closed the caves to not only visitors, but scientists and preservationists in an effort to preserve these ancient artworks. An important cultural heritage to the history of humanity, Lascaux is one of the crowning jewels in rock art, offering an insight into the ancient culture, beliefs, and practices of the first humans. 6. Tikal, Guatemala. In the lowland tropical forest of eastern Guatemala, the ancient Mayan city of Tikal sits shrouded in thick rainforest. Until the 19th century, some of Tikal's temples rose over the top of the dense jungle canopy and were taller than most modern buildings in the New World. At the end of the 10th century, though, the inhabitants of Tikal mysteriously disappeared, leaving only howler monkeys, spider monkeys, parrots, and other jungle life. Over time, archaeologists have uncovered 3,000 structures with more than 200 sculpted stone monuments and over 1/6 of a square mile altered area. Strikingly, many of the structures here remain undisturbed and intact, unlike many other archaeological sites around the world. At the center of the site, the ceremonial Great Plaza sits surrounded by steep pyramid-like temples paved with limestone and used for epic religious rites over the centuries. Several ball courts, including one in the main plaza, were also located. Here, ancient sporting events took place. It has been said that the penalty for losing any of the matches is death for the leader of the team. Some scholars believe the victors were treated to the honor of a ceremonial death. Temple 1, at the top of a vertical 170-foot staircase, requires a mountain goat to help one get back down. Temple 2, 145 feet above the Great Plaza, is surrounded by a number of other temples where visitors can climb to the top to get a view of the stunning scenery below. From above, visitors can see the white rooftops of other temples that poke through the forest canopy and whisper secrets of the hidden civilization and the mysteries of the Mayans. Why would they choose a location that was near no river or major body of water? Although no one is completely sure of what happened to the Mayans of Tikal, some believe drought may have been the reason why the civilization suffered. For now, the site remains a testament to the Mayans and is a site frozen in time. 5. Byzantine Church. In December 2020, the remains of a long-lost Byzantine church was discovered by archaeologists in Jerusalem. Located next to the foundations of a 2,000-year-old Jewish ritual bath, the structures were located not far from an area that was believed to have been the site of the Last Supper. Built on the spot where Judas was said to have betrayed Jesus before heading off to Roman soldiers, the church, with its finely carved stone elements, is believed to have been an important historical site. Named the Church of the Agony and the Church of All Nations, the building was found with Greek inscriptions on the floor for the memory and repose of the lovers of Christ. Accept the offerings of your servants to give the remission of sins. Researchers believe the inscription alludes to Jesus' sacrifice. The Church of All Nations is built over the rock on which Jesus is believed to have prayed in agony before he was crucified. It's near the foot of the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, with a garden full of ancient olive trees. During construction of the modern-day church, which was completed in 1924, parts of the original floor were discovered and are now displayed under glass for protection and to offer insight into the time when the previous church was first constructed. The modern-day church is the third church to have been built on the site. Inside today's church, only natural light filters, with much of the interior left in semi-darkness to evoke a somber tone. In the ceiling domes, a star-studded night sky is recreated with olive branches reminiscent of the garden outside. Shockingly, a man was arrested in 2020 for trying to set fire to the church. After being spotted pouring a flammable liquid inside, he was quickly detained and questioned by a security guard. A number of the pews were scorched, but luckily, the fire didn't spread to other parts of the sacred site. An important part of the Catholic region, the site believed to have been referenced in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, is one that remains sacred to all those who visit. Why do you think someone would want to burn this church down? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. 4. Saksahiwaman. Saksahiwaman is one of the most impressive Inca constructions in all of Cusco in Peru, but it is also one of the most mysterious ancient constructions on the planet. Built in with a zigzag pattern, the fortifications of Saksahiwaman were built in 3 tiers with 22 walls that represent the teeth of a puma. The entire area is in fact the shape of a puma when viewed from above. The walls are built from precisely cut stones that weigh over 300 tons and fit tightly together like a jigsaw puzzle. American researcher Derek Cunningham analyzed the design of the fortress and reached the conclusion that the civilization that thrived here had ancient knowledge of astronomical alignments of the moon, sun, and the planet. It truly is a stunning display of ancient architecture. The archaeological site was once the heart of the Inca Empire. Researchers believe that the Incas were not the first people to build on the site, with sections originally constructed as early as 1100. A once vast complex, the inner area of Saksahiwaman had 3 large towers and a temple dedicated to the sun, which is believed to be one of the most sacred places in the Inca Empire. Located within the main fortress, the Cocachincanas, thought to have been an Inca cemetery, is just one of a number of spiritual places on the site. One of the main mysteries of Saksahiwaman is how exactly the megaliths that made up the 3 main walls were moved into position. Without access to draft animals or the wheel or lever for construction, no one knows for sure how the Inca were able to achieve such an incredible construction, with some of the rocks so close together that you can't even slide a piece of paper between them. It's clear to see that the Inca had a secret to constructing their massive cities that still remains hidden. 3. Egypt's Bent Pyramid. 25 miles south of Cairo, Egypt, you will find the 4,600-year-old Bent Pyramid at Dashur. Strikingly different from the Great Pyramid at Giza, the Bent Pyramid has sloping sides that are believed to be the first attempts by ancient Egyptians to build a smooth-sided pyramid. As data was collected, researchers found that by studying particle accumulations collected inside the pyramid, they might be able to learn how it was constructed. Using thermal technology and particle analysis, they are trying to unlock the secrets of the construction. It was built by King Snefru, the first king of of Egypt's 4th dynasty. The pyramid rises at a 54-degree angle at its lower part, then changes to a 43-degree angle as the pyramid rises. Inaccessible to the general public since 1965, the 331-foot-tall structure received much-needed restoration work, where experts fixed internal and external stairs, and added lighting and repaired stonework into the corridors and chambers of the pyramid, but the design of the pyramid may not have been planned. Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities shared that the architectural direction of the pyramid shifted because cracks began to show in the structure during construction, indicating it was unstable. After multiple attempts at building various pyramids, including the medium pyramid, which had too much of an acute angle, and the smaller red pyramid temples made from red limestone and smooth sides, it seems that Snefru was happy with his construction of the bent pyramid. It now stands as a symbol of changes in the methods used to build those final resting places of Egypt's ancient pharaohs. 2. Viking travel route artifacts. The warming climate isn't necessarily a cause for celebration, but historians have no doubt been able to look on the bright side of the global crisis. As ice began to melt in a mountain range in Norway, it revealed a previously unknown important trade network. Even more exciting is the trove of Viking artifacts that came to light as a result of the warming temperatures. Evidence that the Vikings sourced raw material from all over, the site offered up about 8,000 artifacts that had been frozen in the mountain range for more than 1,000 years. A leather shoe, a woolen mitten, and a tunic were just some of the objects found by archaeologists. Other items including feathered arrowheads, horseshoes, walking sticks, and kitchen utensils found along the path marked by stone cairns, which were mounds used as a landmark on hilltops. Piecing these artifacts together allowed researchers to determine that travelers moved through the mountains periodically, despite how remote they were and how harsh the weather conditions. The newly discovered route was believed to be in use between the years 300 and 1500 AD. The path was one of special significance, allowing researchers to determine that other seemingly impossible ways, such as this, were not necessarily barriers, but important communication routes for ancient people. 1. Stonehenge. Located on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England, the site of the Stonehenge is a prehistoric monument well known across the globe. One of the most studied archaeological landscapes, the massive prehistoric structure gets a lot of attention, but recent excavations by experts reveal what could be the biggest prehistoric site in the UK. A prehistoric ring that is 16 feet deep with 33-foot wide shafts located 2 miles from the Stonehenge is even bigger than the famed Neolithic Ring of Stones. Discovered by archaeologists at the University of Bradford using remote sensing technology, at least 20 prehistoric shafts were found in a pit structure made of partial circles that stretch about 1.2 miles in diameter. Using radiocarbon dating, researchers discovered that the shafts were dug around 2500 BC. Although scientists still don't know the purpose of the site, it shows that complex monumental structures within the landscape were built by Neolithic communities. The large dimension of the Circle of Wells makes it the largest Neolithic site in the United Kingdom, significantly larger than any comparative prehistoric monument in Britain. It's another fascinating glimpse into British prehistory and landscape archaeology. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these mysterious archaeological sites? Would you like to visit any of them? Which one interests you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye!